O'Neill Outside Radio is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Zach Brown's Southern Grind Knives. Only the best make the cut. The Whitetail Institute of North America, the gold standard for food plots. Tough Shed, great storage sheds and custom buildings. Works, power and garden tools. Fisher's Choice, the ideal solution to live bait. True Turn Hooks, hook more fish. Roadrunner Lures, outfishing ordinary lures since 1959. Crocodile Bay Lodge, Costa Rica's best fishing and resort destination. And by O'Neill's new Real Gun and Marine Oils, naturally the best.
Welcome back. The telephone numbers are 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. Before I have a special read for you, because he's on his way turkey hunting, let's go ahead and talk to Gabriel. He's on line one and he's on the way to the woods. Good morning, Gabriel. You're on the radio. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Lovely. Where are you headed?
Paulding Forest, WMA.
Okay. Good
All
for
right.
you. You got them
I just
located?
want to call and let you know that I'm using something that you used to advertise. I can't find it nowhere. That call silencer.
Oh, yes, indeed. The cough silencer. It works, doesn't it?
I still use it.
You betcha.
Yeah, it works. I mean, well, as far as I know, it works.
Yeah.
Can you still get that somewhere?
You know, I don't know, Gabriel. I haven't seen it in stores anywhere. Gosh, what was that, 10, 12 years ago maybe? Something like that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've been a native of Georgia my whole life, and when it first came out, I said that is the most ingenious idea that anybody ever came up with. Mine, I had to duct tape it to keep it to stay together.
What Gabriel's talking about is a little plastic device that you use. You put it in your mouth and almost like a whistle, and it silences your cough.
Yeah, it's like a muffler.
Yeah,
basically
correct.
designed
Well
like
put.
a muffler.
Well put.
But, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say it works. I mean, if you're if you're sitting next to someone, if you're sitting next to them and they use the cough silencer, of course you can hear them, but not more than 5 or 6 feet away. So in the woods, it works perfectly.
Well, I've had friends of mine, turkey hunting buddies, that sit probably 20 feet away from me, and I used it, and they was amazed. And they're looking for it, but we can't find it.
The cough silencer. I wonder if it's on the internet anywhere. Have you looked it up?
I haven't looked on Amazon or eBay, but it's something that's is a good one of those devices that comes along, and you get it, and you say, "Hey, this is great," and then they disappear with it. I don't understand it, but either way, I love your program. I've been listening to it every morning, every weekend when I go turkey hunting. It's my tune-in program, and I enjoy your show, sir.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment, and good luck to you this morning. Have you got them located?
No, well, I've been down here several times. I've been hearing gobbles every morning I go out, but right now they're still henned up big time, and it's one of them things.
Oh yeah, well, stick with it. Maybe today's your day.
Well, I've already gotten 2, and I'm working on number 3 now. So
good for you. Good for you.
Well, thank you. It's just the biggest key. You tell other turkey hunters when you get on here, the biggest key is movement. If you move, they'll spot you, especially on a morning like this when there's no wind. Oh, Lord. Mm-hmm. I'm taking 2 guys as rookies turkey hunting with me right now. Not with me today, but I've been taking them hunting, and I'll watch them. And I'll tell them real quick, I said, you can't turn your head. You can't move. I'm telling you.
No.
Coming in, they'll see you.
Absolutely. After you've called about 2 times, they know exactly where you are.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. And a lot of people say, well, they're call shy. Well, I have an opinion. There's no such thing as a call shy turkey. If he doesn't come to you, it's because he's got hens with him.
Well,
period.
One of the things that maybe you can impress with your rookies and to other people too. Now think about the evolution and what this gobbler's used to. He is everybody's target.
Oh yeah,
Coyotes.
Every animal in the woods is trying to eat them.
Everything is. So his senses are such that he's Well, to me, the eastern wild turkey is the number one big game animal in North America. You have to be talented and practiced and proficient in more things to hunt the eastern wild turkey successfully than any other single animal.
Oh yeah.
Be it elk, white-tailed deer, it doesn't matter. You call, you get a response. Shot placement is necessary. You just don't shoot the bird.
Oh, you have to shoot him in the head.
Yeah, you have to. Otherwise, you shoot him in the body, he's going to fly off and be food for wildcats. So you're on your way again, and I congratulate you for taking 2 birds already. That's wonderful.
Well, I mean, my goal is to finish out the year for get my 3rd one, and then I'm gonna start calling for everybody else. I got people lined up wanting me to go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and my go-to call is a yelper, Billy Bice yelper. I also got a Clay Townsend yelper, and both of them are excellent. And, of course, mouth calls, Slate, and my box calls is Jerry White and Doug Camp.
Well, you've got an array of calls, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. I'll never go to the woods with just one call, not me. I can't do that.
Frankly,
I feel like I'm naked.
Quite frankly, that's a good idea. My favorite's a box call because you hear it farther away. It's probably the loudest of all the calls.
You ain't heard my yelper yet.
Oh yeah, you got it going on. Huh?
I can make it louder in a box call. And I own the Screaming Hen from Doug Camp and the regular box call from him. Both of them are loud, but that yelper it makes them gobble when nothing else will.
Oh boy, well you've got your method down, and I congratulate you. Good luck to you today, pal.
You too. Have a great day. Be safe.
You bet. See you soon. There you are. That's a great call to start off the program this morning. Yeah, that's Gabriel's on his way to the woods. How about that? Woman Williams is here this morning. Oh, my goodness. And the reason is she just can't stay away from me. Otherwise, she has to look after the Facebook page.
True.
Yeah, she's... we've had a busy weekend so far, and it will continue to be so. This week, on Monday and Tuesday, we are conducting that is, the Swaggerty's cooking segments that air on the television show. All these great Swaggerty's sausage recipes. The cabin here will be full, and if you're new to the show program, our little cabin is up here in the mountains of North Georgia. We call it the Bojangles Studio, and it's on the side of a mountain next to the wildlife management area. So this is where we conduct the radio program and all the cooking segments and everything else we can get into, so to speak. So what time did you go to bed last night, baby?
I watched the rest of that movie. It must have been about 12 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I was asleep.
I noticed.
Yeah. I went, poor little O'Neill was worn out. I've got something to get to in a few minutes. But yesterday, I took some, we'll call them novices that hadn't fly fished before, and we went to Black Hawk Fly Fishing Lodge on the Soquee River, which is near Clarksville, Georgia. The Soquee River is 25 miles long, and 24 miles of that river is privately owned by various individuals. And it very well may be the best mountain trout stream in North America, on the East Coast. I'll give you an illustration. I had 3 novices yesterday, and I'm not the guide. They have guides. I'm not not a trout guide. Eli and Chris were the guides, and we fished from 9:30 until 12:30, 3 hours. And we had approximately 12 rainbows from 17 to 24 inches. 24-inch rainbows. I'll put the pictures on the website here pretty soon. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. If you are an experienced, talented, practiced trout fisherman, then for the biggest trout of your life, try Black Hawk fly fishing and look them up on the internet, and you'll see the photos of trout that are huge beyond belief. It will be a record day for you, I suspect, if you go to Black Hawk fly fishing. So, we've got to go to a break here for a second, and we'll be back. I have some questions for you this morning. This is O'Neill, and we'll be back. Well, we have a lot of calls this morning. We're going to get to every single one of them. Let me remind you the telephone number, 404-872-0750 in the Atlanta, Georgia area, and outside and across the country, 800-972-8255. And here's John, and he's calling from New York on O'Neill Outside. Good morning, John. Welcome to the program. You're on the radio.
Yes. Greetings from the Catskill Mountains, where we're just starting to take off our long underwear.
Yes, indeed.
Last I talked to you in January, I had 3 working days, and then I retired. And it's been a great time in the woods ever since.
Wonderful.
Yes, you have commented about leaving the young wildlife alone out in the woods. New York State has a motto that says, if you care, leave them there.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it explains it all. Because Memorial Day up here is when the fawns start to drop, and that's when all the people come up from the city, and, could be a clash of, picking up young wildlife.
Oh, absolutely.
Now,
it can be.
Yeah.
It can be.
Last week, yes, sir. Last weekend we had our youth turkey hunt start, and we start adult this Wednesday. Looking forward to it. There was a picture in the local paper of twin boys, age 12, both with their turkeys. A grandfather took one, and the uncle took the other. It looked pretty good.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Now, I've been turkey hunting quite a few years. When I taught myself how to call, I mimicked with my mouth, and I could call turkeys in with just my mouth. And of course, when they're coming in, you want your hands on the shotgun, and if you just let out a yelp with your mouth, it puts a head up for a shot. Works out good.
Yeah, there you are. Well, you've got it figured out. Congratulations on being retired, and you're successful in your turkey hunting. What kind of terrain? You're in the mountains then, when in the area you hunt.
Oh yeah, yep, we are. And there's a lot of grown-up farms with still stone walls around them. We usually use a stone wall to hide behind. It works out pretty good. Yep. Now, coyote hunting. I know some people have problems with coyotes. Let me tell you a story about a couple guys up here, what they did.
Please
do.
They
put out a bait pile, wired it down, and put up wireless motion sensors that you buy at the hardware store, a dry weight detector.
Right.
And they had their rifle zeroed in on it, and whenever that alarm went off, they lift up the window and take the shot, close the window door. One winter, between the both of them, they lived 2 miles apart. They killed 85 coyotes.
Oh, my goodness. Wonderful.
Yep, one guy took 55, the other guy took 30.
Well, that's an ingenious style of being able to take them. That is terrific because they prey on everything.
Yes, they do. Twice I've heard fawns getting killed by coyotes, and one woke me right up in the middle of the night. It's not a good thing.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Yep. Now, I'm out in the woods all the while with my camera equipment and what have you. When I do stuff and I get up to leave, I take a few steps away. I always turn around and look back, make sure I didn't leave anything behind.
Good idea. Tell me, what station are you listening to on there for us?
The first time I called you, WSB, right out of Atlanta. It comes in, but once it starts getting daylight, it fades out.
Right. It'll when daylight happens, all the other stations exercise their power legally, so we fade after daylight. But good. I'm glad that you're listening, sir. That was a wonderful call. And are you turkey hunting this weekend?
No, it starts Wednesday. I'll be out.
Oh, I see. It starts. Okay.
Wednesday. Yep.
Okay. So you're just out of your long underwear, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's 35. It's dropping right now, so I'm going to put it on.
Good for you. I'm glad you called, sir. It's good to hear from you. Call more often as the season progresses.
You bet. Thank you.
You bet. How about that? That's a wonderful call. Terrific. Let me click that off there. There we go. 30 minutes after the hour, 4:30 in the morning already. Oh, my goodness. Anything going on from Woman Williams?
No,
Okay,
just a lot of good mornings, and we have someone listening in the beautiful state of Kentucky.
Oh, terrific.
I feel like I've lived in Kentucky after watching 6 seasons of Justified.
Oh, Harlan County, Kentucky, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Beautiful state.
Let's see. One of the things that John touched on that I want to get to here because we're way ahead of where he is, but we get noticed by the Georgia Department of Natural Resources with recommendations about so many people that are invaded, if you will, by what we'll call nuisance wildlife. Raccoons, white-tailed deer, coyotes, foxes, bears. My goodness. Let me tell you first of all, leave them alone. Don't fool with them, okay? Especially the deer, the whitetail. If you see a fawn, and he excuse me, he looks so lonesome. Mama must have abandoned him or her, and so you go out and you pick him up and take him and put him in the house. You can't do that. Okay, there's no telling what's living on, no ticks and everything else that's living on that fawn, for one thing. Number two, Mama knows where that fawn is. She's just off in the dark or off in the high weeds, and you just don't see her. But the number one thing to keep raccoons and bears and coyotes and all those things away from your home, these neighborhood critters, don't give them anything to eat. They're there not to visit, to gossip with you. They're there because you're making food available to them. And I hate to use the phrase, but it's so descriptive. A fed bear is a dead bear. Listen, these black bears across America, up the East Coast, down to Florida, all across the Southeast, in these rural communities, especially here in the mountains, these bears have been doing fine for the last 11,000 years without anyone feeding them. Don't do it. Yes, ma'am. Do you have something? You just listening to me?
I was just listening to you.
Okay. Am I going okay? I'm doing all right?
Yes, especially if you're talking about people not feeding bears.
I am.
Yes.
Don't feed the bears. We, in this mountain area where we live, there are some stubborn, we'll call them, neighbors that say, oh, they're just always so hungry. Well, let me tell you something. This is what a black bear's activity consists of. He eats, or she eats, and sleeps, and protects himself from other bears. That's all. Okay? So they're always hungry. A black bear is what's called an omnivore. He eats anything, twigs, leaves, live animals, dead animals, berries, acorns, roots, everything. That's how he stayed alive. Don't feed the bears. How about that?
And what happens as a result?
If you do feed the bears, now granted, they were here in the mountains in North Georgia and wherever there may be a nuisance. They were here before we got here. We invaded their territory. But nevertheless, if you feed the bears, likelihood is that the Department of Natural Resources in whatever state you live will have to
remove them,
control the population. They will have to relocate them.
They begin to be a nuisance.
Yeah. And relocate is termination. They don't move these bears to another area of the mountains and release them. They are terminated. Their next spot on Earth is underneath the earth. Don't feed the bears. Yes, ma'am.
It's just, that's just a fact, and they've tried other ways, and it doesn't work. You can't unteach that bear. They say that if you get one that's young enough, there have been chances of them being rehabilitated, but it does not happen often.
You can trap a bear if he's become a nuisance and spends time around houses so he can be fed. If that bear is relocated, the very first thing he does is to look for a big box place that smells like a human so he can get fed again. He does not revert to being a bear. Well, he reverts to being a nuisance bear, and he ends up dead.
We literally can be sitting out on the deck, and if a bear comes through the yard and they see us, if they have been fed somewhere else, if they see us, they will stop and stand there and look at us. They've been known to stand up on their back legs.
Yeah, like begging almost.
Yeah, almost
performing. So they could be fed.
And sometimes we just have to get up and go in the house to move on.
We don't feed the bears.
Nope.
We don't feed the bears, and so you don't either. Be it raccoon. Now, one of the things before I go on that subject, if you see a raccoon or a coyote and things like that during the day, that doesn't necessarily mean that they have rabies. They're hungry, and they know by visiting around houses they can get a meal. It's almost 30 minutes after the hour. 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. This is O'Neill Radio Prize Package when we return. Let's see, 40 minutes after the hour, you're listening to O'Neill Outside, the #1 live outdoor-based radio talk show in the world. And before we get to the radio prize package, let's talk to Mike. He's calling from Jackson, Georgia, and he's on the radio right now. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, O'Neill, good to talk to you.
You bet.
We was able to buy 70 acres behind my house last year.
Oh, boy.
And we've had turkey in the area, for a long time. But on this 70 acres, we have not hardly seen a turkey on it.
Okay.
So we spent the whole winter. We trapped 25 coons, 7 possums off of the property, and a coyote.
Okay.
And we got cameras all over it, been watching for turkey, and we've seen them all over the property, but I've got about a 10-acre field, and we've not seen one turkey in that field. And the food plot had grown up where the wheat was about 5 foot high, and the clover probably 1.5 feet, 2 foot. And we was cutting it this week, getting ready to start for a dove field. And there was a turkey. She had to flew into it because I got cameras all the way around the field. We've not seen her not one time. And she sat on 12 eggs till the bush hog run over her.
Oh, man. Well, that happens a lot sometimes.
Yeah, if somebody's gonna cut a field and you're trying to get turkeys, you better go for a walk. Like I say, I kept watching the cameras, to see if I could see one. I hadn't seen a track on the edge of the field, but I just wanted to warn people if you're trying to get them out there. And I mean, we've done everything, even the fire ants. I guarantee you, on that 70 acres, you can't hardly find a fire ant bed, and that's pretty expensive to get rid of that.
Yes, it is. Well, I have heard stories similar to yours in which the bush hog will run over a fawn or two.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that the coons, would catch an adult hen because she wouldn't get up and leave the eggs, and I thought that's hard to believe. But after watching my son, it broke both our hearts. My son-in-law didn't see it. He just said all of a sudden he felt the bush hog bog down, seen feathers go everywhere.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, yeah, you're doing all the right things. You'll have them in there.
Well, we got 10 eggs in the incubator now, too, because it busted a couple of them, but we got 10 good eggs off of them. We're going to try to incubate them out. I don't know. Just rather than waste the eggs, we're going to see if we can hatch them.
That's a good idea. That may be fun.
Yeah.
That may be
Well, I
fun.
enjoy
I'll be
your-
darned.
Okay,
All
well,
right,
I
my
enjoy your show, and y'all have a good day. Talk to you later.
You too. Have a great weekend, and thanks for calling. That's interesting. Very, very interesting.
Well, would that be legal?
I
to
don't
do
know
that?
if it would be legal or not.
Now,
I don't
you're
know.
talking about the eggs? The egg
Yeah,
farm?
yeah.
I'm,
If you can-
we talked about that, and if they come said it was illegal and warned them, I wouldn't give them a fuss and write me a ticket
Sure.
before. And as hard as we worked to try to get them to bust them 10 eggs or leave them out there, I couldn't do it.
Right.
know,
Certainly
I-
not. No, I would do the same. Most outdoorsmen would to see what would happen. That might be good.
Yeah,
I
I
bet
know
you
you
can-
can hatch them. I've seen them. My nephew that's helping me do it. He's done it before. So I know they'll hatch.
Oh.
You really can't turn them back loose because they're like a quail. They'll last a few days and something will get them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I couldn't stand the thought of seeing them eggs, and knowing the incubator was right there, we could try it anyway.
Oh, you've got it. Yeah, give it
Yeah.
a try. That's good. Hey, let me know what happens as time goes on, okay?
I will. I sure will. If they hatch out, I'll send you a picture.
Mighty fine.
Okay,
There
O'Neill.
you
Y'all
go.
have a great day.
You too. Thanks, pal. All right. Mighty fine. There we go. Let's see here. I want to get to Mike is called. Let's talk to Mike down in Dallas. Good morning, Mike. This is O'Neill. Welcome to the program. Uh-oh. If I'd pushed the correct button, I could get that done. And there's Mike. I'll bet you he's on the radio right now. Good morning, Mike.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, I've been listening to you for a while. It's my first time calling in. I got
Thank you.
a question.
Okay.
I used to go fishing when I was younger, but I haven't been in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was younger, we used to go catfishing, and we'd put the big heavy weight tied at the bottom, and we'd go in the morning, catch some shad with the cast net, cut up the
boy.
shad, put it on the hook, and just throw it out there and wait for the line to, hit. But my buddy took me out fishing, and they're fishing for crappie and some catfishing, but they're using a bobber and all that. And we weren't catching nothing. And I was thinking, I'm not trying to throw the bait shop under the bus. I support the bait shop. I hope I can catch a big fish and get my picture in the bait shop. But they said they're not even catching the bait at the bait shop from that lake. It's coming from a different lake. And what I've always been told is that the fish can smell what the hierarchy of the fish are, or they know what lake. So if you're fishing with bait from another lake, it's going to smell different to those fish. Maybe that's not why I'm catching the fish, or maybe you can teach me how to catch the crappie, or they're just out on the boat dock, drinking and having a good time. But I want to catch some fish. Do I need to use minnows or
understand.
lures or what?
That's an interesting premise as to whether or not the bait came from a different lake, but I wouldn't give that a great deal of credibility. The fish aren't that smart. If the catfish or something smells bait, even a largemouth bass, a crappie, a trout, they all use smell also, stripers and everything. I don't think that's the problem. Are you catching any fish at all in the area where you're fishing?
Okay, well, here's one. We went out there and we fished, but they had caught one. They said it was the night before, but I wasn't too sure. But when I checked out the basket, the fish it had been dead for at least a couple hours, and I felt like it was giving off that smell of dead fish in the area because they weren't, everyone wants to catch the fish, but nobody wants to clean it.
No, yeah, that's right. Now, I think we're on the wrong boat here, so to speak. I don't think that's the problem. I think maybe the problem is that there's just not any attraction around the dock. And here's an illustration how you can put something foreign in the water around a dock. I'll give you two illustrations for you to put something in that sets up the food chain that will get game fish, catfish, and everything around the dock. Are you ready?
I'm listening.
Okay. How deep is the water close to the dock?
Well, it sounds like they said that Christmas time comes around and they'll put the Christmas trees in the water and sink them down to the bottom to try to get some kind of foliage.
Okay, here's something that's better. Ready?
I'm listening. I got my paper and pen out.
All right, get a couple of bales of hay and anchor them down with the
hay
bricks.
Or straw?
No, not pine straw, hay. Like field hay, okay? Anchor them down with a brick or a concrete block. Tie the concrete block or the wires to the bale of hay to the dock and put them out there in the water. Sink them down to the bottom. That sets up the whole food chain around your dock. The second thing for you to do is get a couple of burlap bags. Fill up the bags with some heavy weight and some dry dog food. Again, tie them to a string or a rope. Toss them out out away from the dock, okay? And that, indeed, as that dog food disintegrates and fills up that area with the smell, and the whole food chain is set up, you're going to have catfish and bass and crappie and all kinds of things around the dock.
All right. Well, do you attach that sack and do you tie it up so you pull it back up after you're done?
That is correct. Correct. You tie
and
it
how long do you leave it out there?
Well, check. It's according to the acidity of the water as to how long it takes for that dog food to dissipate. So, throw it out there, give it a try, leave it out there a couple of weeks, take your string, your rope, and pull it back in and see if there's any left. It won't last all that long. It would dissolve. Interesting.
Well, you do know one of those 30-pound bags of dog food, that's about $20, and then that hay or straw or whatever, that's going to be another $10. It's going to really attract the fish that well?
Oh, absolutely. You give it a try. And it lasts and lasts. Now, the pine straw is going to last you for months. Months and months. It's much better to me than putting in a Christmas tree. The Christmas tree rots, it fades away, and you get hung up in it. You're not going to get hung up on a pine bale. A straw bale. Or that bag. The dog food bag is really the best way to go. It really does work.
And can you do too much if I put 2 or 3 of them out there?
No, I don't think so. I can't do it from here, but you have to say, is there a current in the water there? How deep is it? All of those factors come into play.
And that was the deal. I guess it's on the east side, but it's on all the winds coming east, and it should be bringing everything into that corner.
It should, and that will help. That will help the plankton population, if you will, the plankton that's in the water, which attract other bait fish, which attracts game fish, and you got it. Give it a try.
But you don't believe that using fresh shad from the lake that you're fishing in is better than bait shop?
Well, if it's shad instead of minnows, yes. But if it's just shad smell the same no matter what. No matter what lake they come from. Give that a try and let me know how it goes. I guarantee you,
I'm going to tell everybody who I got the advice from.
Okay.
'Cause I'm about to
I'll run the risk. I hope so. Good luck to you, pal. Glad you called.
All right, thank you.
Again.
You bet. Yes, ma'am.
Is that legal?
Yeah,
I didn't think the DNR liked for you to put Christmas trees in water.
Well, the reason, and I got to go, but the reason they don't want you to put Christmas trees, they can't tell. Did you bring those Christmas trees with you, or did you cut them off the property?
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay.
So the best thing to do is don't do it, and now they can, because people did that at local lakes everywhere, but they would go up on the bank on somebody's property and cut the tree down and then drag it out into the lake. Well, you can't do that. So that's the reason for that. let's put I'll wait for the radio prize package question. We've got a lot of calls this morning, and we enjoy that very, very much. The interaction with the audience and the questions with turkey hunting and springtime fish. That was a great question that guy asked about putting in the Christmas trees versus so many other things. But we've got Mike from Camden County. I don't want to go to him right now because he always has a lot to say and very informative. But when we return, we will also do that, and we will get to the radio prize package, I promise. We're on Facebook at o'neilloutside.com. No, O'Neill Outside. And beyond that, 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. You can watch O'Neill Outside at o'neilloutside.com. You can order the O'Neill's Real Oils and Gun Lubes there at o'neilloutside.com, and a lot of stuff, and I'm running out of breath, so it's time to take a break. This is O'Neill, along with Woman Williams and an entire staff of experts. We'll be back. Well, it's 57 after the hour. I'm not sure we're still on radio, but we certainly are on television. We're on the SB Nation. I hadn't heard from WSB in the last couple of minutes, so don't know what's going on there. But in any case, let's see if we'll test it out right now. But because I'll ask to speak to Mark in Camden County. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, O'Neill. How you doing?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I had a very unique experience last Saturday turkey hunting.
Okay, tell me about it.
I was working 3 gobblers and had them coming to me on a field, sitting back in off the edge of the field several feet. And I was having fun messing with them, whether I killed one or not. I very much enjoyed the show, so I was popping and purring at them and watching them gobble and strut.
Right.
And I got assaulted by a coyote.
No kidding. Tell me. He
jumped. He came in from my left in the brush where I couldn't see him. I just caught the movement out of the corner of my left eye, and I managed to get my shotgun up in time to shove it broadside in his mouth, and he came in at a dead run and bowled me over like a bowling ball pin.
Wow, I've never heard of anything like that.
It happens to turkey hunters. It's usually a bobcat, but I'm not the only one that's ever had that happen to them. And I didn't get bit, but I got scratched up pretty good. I mean, I got blood on my leaf suit on my left arm where he was leaving skid marks trying to get off of me when he realized I was not a turkey.
Wow, yeah, he thought you were a turkey.
Yes, he did. Fully camouflaged up, sitting on the ground, back against a tree. It happened so fast. I didn't even have time to get up and recover and shoot him. I mean, he hit me, rolled me over, clawed me up, and he was gone in the blink of an eye.
Wow, isn't that something? Now, Gail was asking about whether or not...
I kind of sat up and thought to myself, did that really just happen? I didn't have the claw marks on my arms,
I'm sure, no kidding.
Yep.
Well, that's a very unique experience for sure. And, that you'll always remember that hunt.
Well, I'm heading back to the scene of the crime right now to see if those 3 gobblers will be back into the field. I think I was more irritated that he spooked my turkeys than the fact that he mistook me for a turkey.
We've got a really busy hour. We're going to get right to it and just kick off this hour. It's always great to learn some the conditions with the Ram Fishing Report from Mac Farr. Good morning, Mac.
Good morning, O'Neill. How are you?
Good. Where are you headed today, sir?
Oh, going to go on Lake Lanier and beat up on some fish. Try to anyway.
That's good.
It's been easy. Beating up on them's been kind of easy lately. They're biting. It's April. So. Water temperature 68 degrees. Fish are on the bank, so it's good. It's a good time of year. It's a fun time of year. So
you bet.
Yeah, on Lanier, this is arguably the only time you can catch spotted bass. Consistently catch spotted bass, let's qualify that, in less than 10 feet of water. And you can basically...
They don't stay there long.
They don't, and particularly the big ones. I think they get up there and they spawn and they go back to offshore stuff, deep stuff. But you can basically go down the bank right now and catch them. And I guess the big challenge for everybody today is choosing what bait. You don't need to fish deep. Visible structures, broken rocks, stump fields are always great. Start out maybe with a moving bait just so you can saturate a lot of water. And then if it's slick and the wind doesn't blow, or maybe they're a little timid after this weather change we had a couple of days ago, maybe if they won't chase something, just switch to a worm on a lead head. You'll catch lots of fish. You'll have fun and catch all sizes fish. And something you and I talk about every spring, two baits that are really fun and really productive this time of year are a rooster tail or an inline spinner bait. Doesn't have to be a rooster tail, and just a 3-inch grub on the lead heads. So
yeah, there you are.
A couple throwbacks to old school fishing. So everybody keep that little trick up your sleeve. And then there's also, we got a great striper bite, live bait on planer boards, free line, pitching herring, and getting a little bit of topwater. It's not quite there on Neil. They're a little reluctant, but we're real close, I think, to having a good topwater bite. So,
oh boy, well that won't
like this week.
I know it's going to get really.
So.
It'll be really warm this week, so it's going to be warm. So that's the same thing you're telling us right here. Works for Alabama, Tennessee, the Carolinas. Any kind of clear water that's got some spotted bass in it, it'll work.
Absolutely, and it's this week I think will be good as it warms up. Water temperatures are going to accelerate. They're going to really, I think it's going to really get them moving, really get them jacked up. So
fantastic! I know your guests today are really going to catch them.
We're going to try hard anyway, brother.
What's the before I let you go? What's the biggest striper that you've caught on a guide trip there at Lanier?
40 1/4 pounds.
Wow. Boy, that's a whopper.
That's a big old fish anywhere. Now, right now, and maybe we need to talk about this next week, Lanier's in a position where it's not producing a lot of big fish. Just where we had 3 or 4 years in a row where the fish that were stocked had poor survival rates. Nothing wrong with the lake. You just got to, anytime you stock fish, they tend to be cyclical, and you have little bumps and anomalies, and we're experiencing that. Now we've got plenty of fish. We've got plenty of fish 10 pounds. But those bigger ones are fewer in number than they have been in the past. Normally they're producing a lot of really nice fish, but still.
Well, we'll talk about that next week about the numbers of fish. But that's a good observation. A 40-pounder, my goodness.
That's a big old fish anywhere, anytime. There'll be some like this like that caught somewhere this weekend. So good luck to everybody. Be safe. Get out there and get them.
Absolutely. All right, Mac. Glad you called, pal. Have a great day on the water. I'm
going to do so. Good talking to you. Everybody have a good time out there this weekend.
You bet. See you later, pal.
Thanks, O'Neill.
There you go. That's a great start. All right, now we want to give away a lot of calls here. Let's get this. We'll get this. Well, let me go to. It's 16 after the hour. Let's go. This is how appropriate this is. All of a sudden, I've talked about it further. Right now, we're talking with Abby from Black Hawk Fly Fishing on the Soquel River. Good morning, lady. You are up early.
Good morning. I'm ready for the Blue Ridge Trout Festival. I'm getting ready for that today.
O'Neill, that's right.
We're looking forward to seeing a lot of our anglers there today. But it's nice to see some warm weather. And our river conditions have been really awesome here in the last week.
Well, you had the river was full yesterday, and I described our trip yesterday earlier in the program, Abby. But why don't you, as best you can, what is it that makes the Soquel River, the part that you manage and other parts too, quite so unique for the fly fishermen?
We've got other creeks that run into it. We're spring fed. So in the summertime, our stream stays really cooler, so we can maintain the large fish. We don't have to restock every year, and we've got all those spring creeks running into it into our section, and we're right below where it starts. So even with the 4 inches of rain we got last week, O'Neill, a lot of other rivers around, like the Dakota, they stay blown out for a while. We clear up within hours, so we're still fishing while other people are waiting for it to clear out. And it's only because we're right near where it starts, and it's spring fed.
Well, I want to make a point here for people who can contact Black Hawk and I tell people that probably the Black Hawk, especially the section that you manage, and you've got what, 2 miles?
We do. Mm-hmm.
That is probably the best mountain trout stream on the whole East Coast. Now, for instance, yesterday I had with me 3, we'll call them inexperienced fly anglers, but they caught trout up to 25 inches.
And that's due to our professional guides as well. You've got to have really good guides that know how to get these fish on. I think that really adds to our program, and we're just really blessed to have Eli Crumley and Chris Gay, and I've got others. We also have the kids that go to UGA. There's a fly fishing program down there, and we're using a lot of those people too. We're bringing them along as well. It's really working out for us. So,
well, nobody ever takes a fish out of Black Hawk, do they? Out of the Sequoia?
Oh no, you would be keeping one of my family members.
Well, I know yesterday that we had Alicia was with us, and she had on a brown that must have been 28, maybe 30 inches.
Yeah, and she was ecstatic when she got back. I could tell they had
my goodness,
really good time, and that's what we do. I mean, people can just show up at our place because we do have a fly shop. We can do corporate trips where they don't have to have the setup. We're on the Sims program, so we've got the equipment, the waders, the boots, and the guides that really bring it home. You know,
people can show up like my guest did yesterday. They didn't have waders, a rod, a reel. They didn't have anything, line, nothing. And in a half an hour, they were on the river catching these gigantic trout. It was a fabulous experience. Good luck to you today. You're at Blue Ridge for the Mountain Trout Festival, huh?
Yeah, we're setting up, and we'll be open from 10. It'll be the gates will open from 10 to 5, I think, today.
Okay.
It should be a great weather. I know the wind really got us yesterday trying to get that tent up, but anyway, we're hoping to have a big crowd. There's supposed to be thousands of people up here in the mountains, and it's going to be a gorgeous day for it.
Abby, I'm glad you called.
All right, O'Neill, hang in there. Catch some.
See you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
And there goes Abby. Okay. I promise we're going to have the radio prize package upon our return. This is O'Neill, 404-872-0750, or I got to get out of here, or 800-972-8255. This is O'Neill Outside, and we'll have the radio prize package when we return, so put your brain in gear. Think about the program. This is where you'll learn the answer. This is O'Neill. We'll be back. I want Todd to hold on. We're going to get to the radio prize package. I'll get to you in a second, Todd. But right now, here's Woman Williams with the rules and the list of prizes, and I'll ask the question. You got to put your brain in gear.
Okay, if you're 18 years old or older and you have not won a prize package within the last year, you can answer the following question and you will win a bottle of O'Neill's Oils, a Bojangles gift card, a Swaggerty's voucher for any of their products, a Whitetail Institute DVD, a Realtree hat and decal combo, a Georgia DNR Regulations magazine, a Data Sport Fish and Game Forecaster, 2 cans of Fisher's Choice baits, a Thunder Chicken by Captain Martin Ogle. I love that name. Yeah. Thorogood Boots hat, an Arctic Ice freezer pack, and 2 packages of Bug Band and a wristband.
That's right.
There you go.
Mark's daughter named that.
Thunder Chicken.
It's a casting float. Mm-hmm. She named it the Thunder Chicken.
Oh, that's a good name.
He gave her one chance.
Oh.
He said, all right, what's going to be the name of this? You got one chance. And she said a Thunder Chicken.
Very good. Does it look like a chicken?
No.
Oh.
But it is the perfect casting float. Okay, here's the question. In Peachtree City, Georgia, our employee and engineer that engineers all the radio program, the television show. It's unbelievable. She's a Grammy-winning sound engineer. Her name is Karen Green. What is her nickname that we have given her here on the show? So Corey knows the answer. 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. And now we can talk to, he can't answer the question because he was already on the line, but we'll talk to Todd now on O'Neill Outside. Good morning, Todd.
He has his radio on.
Oh, boy. Todd, are you there, sir? Okay, well, let's put him back on hold. Okay, let's go to Candy on line number 6. Good morning, Candy. O'Neill, welcome to the program. Candy.
I don't think you got her clicked.
Oh, yeah, there she is.
Cindy, anyway.
Let's try
Hey,
again.
this is Cindy.
Hey, say, Cindy, how? Good
morning. I could be a Candy. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I've been called worse.
Listen, I'm not answering that question because I don't know the answer. I was hanging on to ask you 3 other questions.
All right, let's go for it.
All right. How do I reach Abby? Sounds like a great event up there. I'd love to connect and sort of not really today, but maybe another year. How do I connect with her for all the above that you talked about?
Certainly. You can look it up on the internet. Black Hawk Fly Fishing.
Got it.
Black Hawk Fly Fishing, and it's labeled as Clarksville, Georgia.
Perfect.
One of a kind.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Now, your Alaskan adventure that you were talking about. Tell me just a little bit more and maybe a website or where I need to go to check that out as well.
Okay. You can find out about that by going to, let's see, it's on the website, honey?
I was trying to find it.
Okay.
It should be.
My goodness.
To your website?
Yeah, my website.
Yeah, but if she goes and subscribes to the newsletter, she'll get one about it this week.
Or is it with Facebook?
If I don't know if you heard that. If you go to O'NeillOutside.com.
Okay, got it.
And subscribe right there on the homepage. You can at the bottom of the homepage, you can subscribe to the newsletter, and we'll send out all the information about that. It's going to happen June of 2020.
Perfect.
2020, and we'll go out of Seattle, Washington, on the Inland Passage up to Sitka and return over 7 days, and it is a marvelous trip. Please, I'm glad you called because please do research it, take a look at it pretty quick because we're running out of cabins already.
Will do. Listen, you've got a fantastic show. Go get that prize package taken care of.
Good deal. Thank you for calling, Cindy.
Bye.
All right, bye. That's good. What a great call. Okay, we have a winner here, Corey. Okay. All right, we'll get back to get him up there pretty soon. This is O'Neill with O'Neill Outside. It's 30 minutes after the hour on a Saturday morning, the 27th of April. Fishing is fantastic. The turkey hunting season is still going on, and if I be able to get to it, I'm telling you now, if you're a turkey hunter, and maybe you've already gotten a bird or two, don't quit. The next 2 weeks is the best time of the season. The hens are on the nest. They're not interested in any more gobblers, but he is interested, and if you sound like a good-looking, anxious hen, he will come to you if you do everything else right, too. So he's lonesome, and if you can get him to return a call at 10 in the morning, be patient, or at 2 in the afternoon, believe me, you're about to be invaded by a gobbler as long as you do everything else right. So now is the time. Now is the best time for the southeastern turkey season. And I had a whole list. One of the best sites for you to visit or have as part of your internet routings is realtree.com. Multiple information, constantly list of the best of the places to go. It's really fantastic. The top turkey hunting states for the month of May: Maine, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Kansas. You read about that. There's things to learn about those other states about turkey hunting. Of course, the best thing to do is go out to Texas and hunt the Rio, because he comes in and commits suicide right in front of you. Why are you looking at me?
Well, I have two choices. I can either look at the computer screen or I can look at you.
Okay. Well, anything going on Facebook this morning?
No, just people saying good morning and enjoying the show.
Okay, let's go. Brent is the winner there. We'll ask the question again, then we'll tune in Brent. And the question is, our sound engineer named Karen Green, been associated with us for 12 or 14 years. And we'll go right now to Brent for the radio prize package. Brent, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm glad you got through to us. And what is the nickname that Gail has given Karen Green?
Houston.
And do you remember why?
As in Houston, we have a problem.
That's exactly right. She can fix anything. She can fly a plane up here. She can play a professional saxophone. She can engineer all this radio stuff, and she can be awarded Emmys for radio and sound engineering. And she's always at our disposal. So there you are.
And a good person to have around.
Oh, you betcha. And it turned out well for you, didn't it?
You sure did. I appreciate it.
You bet. It'll take us a couple of weeks to round it all up and get it to you. Thank you for listening to the program, and I'm glad you had the right answer.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You did. You too, pal. There you go. And there it is. Okay, 33 minutes after the hour. You sleepy?
Uh-huh.
I can tell. Me too. And I'm hungry, for goodness sake.
We've been busy this week. It's been a busy week.
Oh, man, yeah. Let's chat now to Bill is calling from Hiram, I believe. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Lovely. Speak right up now so I can hear you.
All right. So I have a combination of a turkey hunting story and a turkey hunting question. So,
all right, let's go for it.
This past week, a friend of mine was out in the woods turkey hunting, and he was set up on the edge of this field in one of those pop-up blinds.
Yes.
Now, Tom Turkey shows up about 6:30 in the afternoon, and he's working across the field. He gets to within about 20 to 25 yards away. Now, my friend is hunting with a single-shot 10-gauge, and he's using 3.5-inch turkey loads.
Well, it sounds good so far.
Well, so the turkey's, about 20, 25 yards, and he's looking straight at him. The turkey is not broadside. He's head on right at him. Well, he lifts his head up. My friend says that he, lines up on him and pulls the trigger. Turkey does a backflip and is on the ground flopping. He's doing the flop from,
Right.
And so my buddy says, he's all excited. He sets his gun down. He unzips the blind, gets out of the blind, and turns to go get his turkey, and the turkey's gone.
Oh.
So I guess my question is, have you ever heard of a bird taking a shot from a 10 gauge at 20 to 25 yards and basically walking it off?
The only explanation can possibly be that he just didn't hit him well enough. He hit him with a couple of pellets, but he didn't hit him enough to kill him. That's all. I would tell people that one of the things you have to do in turkey hunting prior to the season, you need to sight in your shotgun.
Yeah, and that's one thing. That gun, his dad brought the gun from Alabama for him to use, and he never did pattern it before. So I don't know if he was shooting low, but the way it sounds, he said that thing flipped backwards and it was flopping around on the ground, like fighting for his life.
Yeah.
And within 30 seconds, he's gone.
He got up and flew away or ran. Captain Howard Lee, Marine Corps, Vietnam, August 1966. Lee's company was attacked and surrounded by a large Vietnamese force. Realizing that a unit had suffered numerous casualties, depriving it of effective leadership, and fully aware that the platoon was even under heavy attack by the enemy, Lee took 7 other men and proceeded by helicopter to reinforce the beleaguered platoon. Major Lee embarked from the helicopter with 2 of his men and braving withering enemy fire, where he fearlessly moved from position to position, directing and encouraging the overtaxed troops. The enemy then launched a massive attack with a full might of their forces. Although painfully wounded, including almost blind now from his injuries, Major Lee continued to throughout the night to direct the valiant defense, coordinate supporting fire, and apprise higher headquarters via telephone of the plight of the platoon. The next morning, after fighting all night and being wounded, he collapsed. However, the small band of Marines had held their position and repeatedly fought off enemy attacks for 6 more hours before their evaluation was effected the following morning. Major Lee's actions saved his men from capture and minimized the loss of lives and dealt the enemy a severe defeat. Howard Lee, Vietnam, 1966. He died March the 23rd, 2019.
Oh, he just passed away.
Yeah.
Was he? Did I understand he was blinded?
He was
that
almost
tempered?
blind from the shot.
Yeah.
But he was also shot in the chest, too, with a further description. And shot in the arm. But he wouldn't give up.
No.
Wow.
Marines don't give up.
You betcha.
Most of our servicemen are that way. Not just one branch of them, all of them.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yep.
Now let's talk to Wade. He's been holding on for quite a while. Good morning, Wade. How are we, sir?
Doing great on that. How y'all doing this morning?
Wonderful.
I was going to ask you a couple questions.
Go.
Are the wax worms on that bait you're after in the can, are that the same thing as a mealworm?
No, they're not. But you
Okay.
can't tell them apart.
Okay.
The waxworm's more sturdy. He stays on the hook better.
Okay, all right. And you're
All right.
talking about putting hay in the water.
Uh-huh.
I was taught to put a ball one time they use sorghum syrup. It's expensive to buy it. But take that Cairo syrup and put on it hay and let it set in the sun to the heat of the day. Let it get as hot as it can get, and then drop it about 5 foot below the dot.
Oh, good idea.
And then it stays in the water, and the sunlight still gets it, and it breaks down, and it brings in the little fish.
Oh, boy. That's a good idea, Wade. That's
I had
a good
buddy
idea.
up
That's
there at corner store sold bait and produce. He'd get cabbages from the farmer's market, and had big old extra leaves on them. And I'd pull them off and put them in one of them big old peanut sacks, and put a brick in the bottom of it and hang it down there. Same thing. It does the same thing.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's a great suggestion. And I'm sure it works. It's bound to.
Yeah,
It
it breaks
can't-
down
it-
just like the hay. But if you put it where the sunlight can still heat the water, heat the summer when it gets warm,
Uh-huh.
it's still warm 5 or 6 feet down. You got to dive off a dock deep to get cool in summertime. Hang it in that light can still get to it. 4 or 5 foot of water.
Yeah, boy. If you have a dock at a reservoir or a lake of some kind and there's not any other reasons, infertile waters or anything, and you do those things around your dock, put the dog food in, the hay, the molasses, the cabbage, you're going to have fish.
Oh yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to have them there, no doubt.
We had a buddy give us about 15 leftover Christmas trees about 5 years ago, and that dot right down below the house, and we put them on each side of it with cement blocks, and within a year we wore the crappie out.
Yeah, that's those Christmas trees. The woody structure on the Christmas trees is where what the crappie look for. That's where they spawn, on those branches.
Okay.
So you're setting up a nursery for them.
Oh, we were talking about the elk last week up here.
Uh-huh.
I believe they're called a Roosevelt elk.
Okay, yeah, there is a species called the Roosevelt.
Yeah, I seen something in the paper the other day. I didn't get to read much about it, but I've been seeing a lot of turkey now, a lot of thunder chickens over here in the field on the way to work. have not heard them call that for quite a while. So that's interesting. Yes, a thunder chicken. Like that little
I've also heard of
made.
if they frustrate you and you miss them, or they don't come in and act right, you call them ground buzzards. Oh my goodness!
Well, I sure enjoy your show. I listen every week. I got some friends that heard me on here, and they're like, "You on too early? I don't get to hear from you." I said, "Well, I'll try to be on about before 5 next time."
There you go. All right. Well, you're on board. Shall I put you back on hold?
Yes, so I can listen to you. Please do, sir.
Okay, I will do that right now. And thank you. They're always good to hear from Wade. Let's put that call on hold. I should be able to do it. Hold a call. Maybe if I understand this engineering, sometime I can get that done. So
maybe
what are you
in
hearing
another
from,
29 years.
Yeah,
maybe.
no, I'm just not good at this.
Don't get in a hurry.
What are you hearing from Facebook?
Facebook's been kind of quiet today.
Oh yeah.
Tom Branch says, "Semper Fi from this Marine family." Always good to hear from Tom. Good guy. That's about. Had some people listening from Grayson. No questions.
No questions. That's
Just
all right.
listening. That's all right. We're happy to have them.
It keeps from me. If there are no questions, it keeps me from fouling up the answer. If you don't ask, you don't get the wrong information.
Well, you have to have something to talk about.
Yeah. 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. Reverting back. Can you revert back or just revert? Anyway, to a subject that we handled briefly during the first hour of the program this morning. It's the time of the year in which rural and neighborhoods like this one that are in the woods, you will be visited from time to time by coyotes, raccoons, bears. You'll see deer, fawns, and please leave them alone. The deer does not come by to eat, but if you see a fawn and you don't see the mother, that fawn, the mother's over in the woods out of sight. Leave the fawn alone. Don't feed the bears. Don't feed the raccoons. Don't feed the coyotes. And because you see them during the day doesn't necessarily mean that they're rabid, that they are sick. No, they're hungry. And they've come to your house because, evidently, you very well may be supplying them with breakfast. Leave the wildlife alone.
But they can be rabid.
Well, they can be. That's correct.
I used to hear that was always most of the time the case. If you saw one out in the daytime, that was not a good sign.
Yeah, but it bears mentioning that there's a lot of reasons for them to be out. For instance, a coyote mother, she's feeding her brood, so she may be up 24 hours a day looking for something to eat to feed the babies. You see.
I do. I have a comment on here. As a veteran of the Air Force in the first Gulf War, and thank you for your service, sir, I can't tell you how much your acknowledgement of the Medal of Honor means to us. Thank you, sir.
Well,
Isn't that great?
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. And Gail brought out last night, we were, I don't know what brought the subject up, about the Gold Star families. Was it an ad on television or something that
I think,
brought up that
yeah,
subject?
I believe there was, yes.
Yeah. And something that even at my age, I never thought about the fact that I'm a Gold Star family.
Yes, you are.
2 uncles, and my father all died in the service.
Your cousin, your uncle, and
His
your father.
cousin. Well, I don't.
Yeah.
A cousin, an uncle. Yeah, cousin.
Yeah.
Cousin and
2
yeah,
on
but-
your father's side of the family. It was your father and his nephew died within the same year, and then your uncle on your mother's side. She lost 3 first-degree relatives in 1 year.
Right. My
during
father
World War
was
II.
21. My uncle was 19.
I think so.
And
And the other one was about that age too.
yeah, he was killed at the Battle of Enzio Beach.
Yes. They were 19, 20, and 21, as a matter of fact.
man.
That's how old they were. Yes.
Wow.
So I think that makes you a member of a Gold Star family.
Yeah. May I get political for a moment?
No.
Okay.
We'd like to keep this show going for a little while longer.
All right.
And you can't say anything without it being politically incorrect, so just leave it alone.
Okay.
You can put that on your Facebook page.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. I can't be political on radio. I have been counseled that there are other programs on WSB and other networks that handle the political side of the discussion, so O'Neill can stay away from that.
Yeah.
But at my Facebook page, should you like to visit there's several comments.
That's on your personal Facebook page.
Personal
though.
Facebook
not
page.
on your not on O'Neill Outside.
Yeah, it's just O'Neill.
Here we have a question here. Good morning from Cartersville. And what can you use to keep snakes away from my yard and house?
Nothing.
Well, it's habitat, food source.
Yeah. If there's a snake around your house, he's there because he feels secure. Maybe there's some rocks, a water source for him to get in the rocks close to the water. And he does that because there's probably frogs close to the water and the water source. So he's there for food. He's not there to visit you or to come by and say hello.
Well, and it depends on the kind of snake it is, too. You know, it's illegal in Georgia to kill a non-venomous snake.
Well put.
I don't particularly want to have a copperhead or a rattlesnake like we did once before, several years ago on the front porch. But that was a one-time thing, and he's gone.
Yeah, he's deceased.
But they are, and this is coming from someone who has a horrible fear of snakes. But I have learned a lot just listening to Hal and Milton and Steve Scruggs and, people like that. Education. And then I joined some Facebook groups about snake IDs. And now I pretty well know the ones that are venomous and non-venomous, and you just don't you don't want to kill the ones that. That thing about the only good snake is a dead snake is just just horribly wrong. And I find myself correcting people. Did you ever think I'd do something like that? Because I used to think the same thing.
Yeah.
But I know better.
No, that's not correct. A black rat, a red rat, a king, all those snakes of that ilk around your house, they may stun you, frighten you for a moment.
They do.
Leave them alone. They're friends of yours.
What is that thing? It's a sin to kill a mockingbird. I think it's a sin to kill a king snake.
I agree. Oh,
and
yeah.
I mean, can you believe I said that? Have I not come a long way?
Well said.
Yeah.
Okay, got to get out of here. You guys stay right there. We'll be back. Okay, welcome back. A couple of pieces of advice, one from Woman Williams and then O'Neill before we sign off this morning.
Oh, just on the snake situation, don't waste your time with mothballs.
They don't work, do they?
They don't work, and they're not good for the environment, as far as other animals are concerned. And most of those commercial products do not work either. So the best thing to do is, keep the debris away from your house and remove the food source. But they'll keep your house free of mice and things.
Okay, my little piece of advice doesn't have anything to do with hunting and fishing. I have lots of advice on those subjects every Saturday morning. But here's a subject here that I urge you all. It's summertime. There's going to be boats on the lake. The lakes will be full of boaters, a lot of them new boaters, inexperienced boaters. But let me tell you quite emphatically, outboard fuel and gasoline do not mix. Outboard fuel and alcohol does not mix. fuel and gasoline.
Well, that's
I know,
okay.
I'm tired. They do not mix.
Nope.
Don't drink and boat, okay? Please. I mean, there's no future in it. Look up on YouTube of the boating accidents. They're funny, but people die. Don't drink and boat. And then lastly, too, around the ramps, take a big plastic bag with you in the boat, in the truck. Don't leave any trash. Don't put them in the trash bins, okay? Take it with you, because those barrels overfill and the ramps end up crappy and nasty. Maintain good ramp conduct. Have your boat ready when you put it in and when you take it out. So there's but don't drink and boat. There's no future in that. And even I know all the bass boats have kill switches. If you're a pleasure boater, have a kill switch on your engine, so that if you leave the driver's side, the engine will fail. All right, this is O'Neill with Woman Williams, Karen Green, Corey, and Jason, and everybody at WSB. I'll leave you with this. If you're too busy to go fishing and take a kid along, you're too busy. We'll see you guys next week.
I once asked a mighty hunter, coming home from the field, how he came to possess such mighty hunting and fishing skill. He said, I'll tell you a secret, son. I learned everything I know from listening to O'Neill Outside on my radio. O'Neill, O'Neill, O'Neill Outside.